Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the daily discussion for the 1st of December 2014. It's been a while, hasn't it? I hope things are going well for you. My name is Tuskeh, and today we shall be discussing two things, actually. First of all, the channel, and second of all, the game. Sounds pretty good to me. I'll have an annotation somewhere to take you to either part of the video, if you're interested in one but not the other. Hopefully you'll watch both. So, first of all, the channel. It's going pretty well. I keep saying that over and over again. Every single time I'm asked about the channel, I say, oh, it's going pretty well. But actually, it is. I lost a little bit of momentum after WoD launch, which is to be expected. You know, people are trying out the content. People aren't really looking on YouTube that much. And, you know, I'm also doing the content and playing with my husband and all that kind of stuff. So it's taken a while to kind of get into it and get things back to normal. But other than the losing a tiny bit of momentum, which has now been regained, the 1-minute heroic guides are going great since they're pretty easy to make. It only takes about an hour, maybe 2 hours to make one of those. I know, right? An hour, 2 hours to make 1 minute. I know, it's completely insane. But think about the heroic guides. Those are about 20 minutes long, and those take about 7 hours. Bloody hell. And I am going to make more of these 1-minute guides in the future because I really enjoy making them, and I think they're quite fun, and they have the potential to be both informative and quite entertaining. So I'm going to be making more of those in the future. And if you have any ideas for 1-minute guides, you can let me know in comments or use the links in the description, all that stuff. So, definitely enjoying making those. But it kind of highlights a problem for me. And it's the heroic guides, really. They just take so damn long to make. Even the ones that will be about 5 or 6 minutes long, those are going to take several hours each to make. And really, I think I'm just running out of A, time, and B, patience for the bloody things. Not to say I don't like the heroics of this, and I'll get onto that in the next section, but I just want to make other videos, to be honest. I really do. I've been wanting to make a daily discussion for a while, but it's like, okay, well, I can work on that, or I can make this 1-minute guide, and then I can make this heroic guide, and I've got all these garrison guides. I've got myself a big, long list of different things. I've got the elemental shaman guide to make. I'm probably going to make a resto shaman guide as well, and I I don't know, might make an enhancement guide if I get around to that one as well. So, I'm going to be really busy, and there's loads and loads of different videos I want to make, but I kind of feel like I'm held back a bit by the heroics, and really I think the 1-minute guides are fine. I think they'll do just fine, and they tell you everything you need to know in a minute, so hopefully that will be sufficient, and I can move on and do other things. Speaking of other things, the channel hasn't kind of exploded yet, which is to be expected, to be honest, and I keep getting people saying like, oh, why hasn't your channel exploded? And I look at my my top videos in terms of views, and I'm like, well, here's why. Because all of my top videos are my LFR and flex guides from the Siege of Orgrimmar. Those are what kind of got the channel started. And really, that's what's gonna make the channel do well in Warlords of Draenor. So I'm gonna have to really nail down those LFR and those normal modes. Well, I think they're normal modes, yeah, not flex. Normal mode guides. I'm gonna have to get those out as soon as possible, because those are gonna be where a lot of the views are gonna be, and I have to make them really fast, and I have to make them really good. So I'm gonna jump on those as quickly as I can. And if I'm lucky, the raid tomorrow, and I am gonna be raiding tomorrow, will go well. I think we're doing normal, not heroic. So hopefully that will go well. We'll hopefully get a lot of it done. If not all of it. I don't know about all of it, but hopefully we'll get a lot of it done, so I can start making those guides as quickly as humanly possible. So that's hopefully where a lot of the momentum will come from, and we can get going more and more and more and more. Although that's not to say that the channel's losing subscribers. I am gaining subscribers, and things are going really well in that department. I'm always getting emails from Google, well, not Google, from their automated system, basically saying, yep, you've got another subscriber, and another subscriber, and another subscriber, and I get told every single time, and it's really cool. I'm even actually starting to make fairly consistent money out of the channel, which is really great. I have to say, really great. Although it's still a very small amount, and so now it's less of a case of making money every month, and more a case of making more money every month, so that it can be something that is helpful. So that's the goal in terms of money, which just means more views, essentially. So we'll be working on that in the future. So I have been thinking very hard about a few different things to do with the channel, because I want that channel to have a lot of structure from now on. I'm kind of a little bit tired of just being like, here's another guide, here's another guide, here's another guide, here's another guide. I'm of course gonna do that with things like LFR and normal, and maybe heroic guides. I want to get those out as quickly as I can, because they're very important. But other things, other kind of guides, they don't need to be released as bloody fast as I'm doing them now. So I want to slow down a bit, and I want to have a bit more structure to the way that I do things. So with that in mind, I basically came up with an idea for a different kind of video every day. Kind of like different shows in a way. And I'd like to know what you think of it. So tell me in the comments what you think of this kind of layout. So on every Monday, I'm thinking of doing a kind of a daily discussion-esque thing, like I'm doing right now. Just like the daily discussion, talk about a subject, hopefully from anywhere between 10 to 20 to 30, 40 minutes, something like that. That was a really wide range of times, but you get the point. Just discussing something, just like we've been doing with the daily discussion for a while now. And I'm thinking of calling it something like the Monday Meet. I don't know if I want to call it the daily discussion anymore because it's not daily. So, but I kind of want to do it daily. I don't know if I'm going to have the time, but I love making these videos, so I'll have to think about that. But I was thinking of calling it like the Monday Meet, something like that. If you have any ideas for better names, because I'm very bad at names, then let me know, because Monday Meet is kind of a terrible name. But, you know, so that's Monday. Tuesday would be a guide, just plain and simple, a guide. Guides are what I do well at. It's one of the best things about the channel. Every Tuesday, a guide. And then Wednesday would be something I've decided to call Serious Face. So I like to think that I have a fairly optimistic outlook on World of Warcraft, and that I'm fairly energetic in the way that I deliver my content. But I think Serious Face is going to be exactly what it says, you know, much more serious, although I won't be showing my face, so... But what it's going to be about is basically going to be a show that critically examines World of Warcraft and its systems. So anything from the way that itemization is right now, I know that Preach just released a video all about that, from, you know, the way that the game encourages guilds, the different design choices that Blizzard has made, and really seriously, critically evaluating it and examining it, and trying to figure out whether or not it's good for the game. And I can have other people get involved in this, like people like Ellie and Wall and maybe some other people, I'm not sure, who can just have a chat with about this kind of thing. So it would be kind of like a daily discussion, but more focused towards seriously examining something. So Thursday would be something I've called Lore Nerd, which may be a terrible name, but I really like it. And it would basically be doing something like the WoW Lore Trolls video that I made a while ago that just talked about the trolls, you know, that just talked about them and their story and things like that. And that's what Lore Nerd would be. It'd be either discussing or just telling you lore and stories, and this can involve others as well, people who know their lore and their stories and things like that. And that could be really enjoyable, because the lore about the trolls video did really well. I'm surprised, actually, at how well it did. So that's definitely something I'm going to look to continue, because I love the lore of this game. I really do. I'm a terrible lore nerd. I used to be a huge role player when I had the time. I don't anymore, but I used to roleplay a hell of a lot, and I really enjoyed it, and I still enjoy the whole role-playing aspect of the game. But I would love to make this series, and I'd like to know what you think about whether or not that's a good idea to make it. And then finally, on Friday, I would do something called Follower Friday. I wanted to call it Fan Friday, but I don't like the term fan. It derives too much from the word fanatic, and it kind of suggests that you folks aren't as intelligent as I like to think you are. So I want to call it Follower Friday. So this is basically doing things that you folks suggest for a little bit of fun. So this could be anything, really. I mean, I've had suggestions to make a 1-minute guide for leveling, which confused me, but that could be quite funny. And it could be anything, really, whether you suggest I play a game, or I know that might be kind of Let's Play-like, but it might be fun, and that's really what it's about. It's about fun, and it could be anything, any kind of suggestion from you folks I would enjoy doing. So that could be an idea for Friday. So I'd like to know what you think of this whole structure, what ones you like the sound of, what ones you don't like the sound of, if you have any suggestions for names, if you think that, you know, one is terrible, one is great, let me know in the comments below. I'd really like to hear your thoughts on that. So that's basically what I have to say about the channel. Let's move on to Warlords of Draenor. Now, this is going to be a little bit shorter of a section, because I want to talk more about the various parts of the game in other videos in a bit more detail, but I'm just going to quickly go over what I think. So basically, this is pretty much the best expansion that Blizzard has ever released, in my opinion. It's really damn fantastic. It trumps Wrath of the Lich King for me, which I know is a big one for a lot of people, myself included. I really loved Wrath of the Lich King, but I think I love Warlords of Draenor more. It's kind of still early in this relationship between us and Warlords of Draenor, and it's fine to get all starry-eyed and say, oh no, this game is the best. We might look back on it different, but right now, I think that it's just bloody fantastic. And the fact that it beats Wrath of the Lich King is just great. I've just wanted Blizzard to do this for a while, just make a really damn great expansion with plenty of savagery, which is what they've done. There's loads of wonderful detail in everything, and it's just it's brilliant. I mean, I adore the leveling process. I really loved leveling up. That was just great. I have tons of footage of it as well to use in different videos, which is great. The story was supremely interesting and engaging, and it made you feel important. The music was incredible, with the big bombastic tracks playing at all the right moments. There's a moment where you're running away from the Iron Horde, which in the Tanaan jungle, which is just great, which that moment was just really cool. It does a great job, the whole thing, not just the music, the whole game does a great job of making you feel like you're a commander of your faction's forces, and it makes you feel unique, which is really difficult to do in an MMO. It's just completely uncontested by the other MMOs out there, in my opinion. It's just so great, and it's refreshing to get some new content going, which is, oh, it's just brilliant. It's just bloody brilliant, you know what I'm saying? Heroics are pretty challenging, Upper Blackrock Spire especially. For some reason, that heroic is like 3 times harder than some of the other ones, but you know, I'm not complaining there. Unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to go into the challenge modes yet, but I hear that they're very difficult, and if you think that the 500% haste buff is something that you should do, no, don't do that. You'll get banned, probably. Just don't. So, yeah, I look forward to getting into challenge modes. I haven't done any raiding yet because it's not available yet. I will, of course, be going into High Mall tomorrow, as of this recording, on Tuesday the 2nd of December. I look forward to that greatly. The team has got a lot of new additions to it. I look forward to seeing who does well and who struggles and what we can do about that to develop the team. And of course, I will record the raid for you and put it up on Wednesday, assuming that it's not, you know, a massive disaster full of horrible racist slurs and arguing, which I would be very, very surprised by, honestly. So, yeah, that's hopefully going to be the video for Wednesday. I want to get these videos out anyway, even though I'm doing these various shows. Just one thing to note, I should probably have said this a bit earlier, but if you're watching the whole video, then this won't be a problem. Although I do have a kind of structure for the different videos, I'm going to just upload random videos every now and then as well. Things like the WoW Live raids, things like that, you know. Just random videos that I think are important that I want to get up as soon as I can, so I'll be doing that. So back to Warlords of Draenor. It does have its problems. Of course it does. It's a game. It's not perfect. If it were perfect, everyone would be playing it. So it does have its problems. There are some itemization issues. Preach made a video about this that, you know, kind of highlighted it. Admittedly, these haven't affected me very much because maybe it's just the way my brain is tuned that I don't really think too much about item level. But on another note, there were some pretty gigantic launch issues. I mean, some pretty gigantic, huge launch issues that affected a lot of people. A lot of people got screwed over by these launch issues. And Blizzard kind of stumbled a little bit, but they have since got their act together and things are nice and stable now, but it was pretty terrible. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, but it was pretty bad. So it's going to take a while for people to forget that. So they're going to have to be careful that they don't bugger up like that in the future. And hopefully the next launch of the expansion will go much better. Although I will defend Blizzard and say this. The numbers have spiked. World of Warcraft subscribers have gone back up to 10 million. At least that was the last report. Which is quite surprising, considering the last report was about 6 or 7 million. And I don't think even Blizzard were prepared for just how many people were going to log on. So I'm kind of willing to give them a little bit of leeway there, but hopefully it won't happen again. I also have a problem with the game's new reputation grind model. I don't understand why the best way to reputation farm is just find a group. You can't really do it much by yourself. I don't like that. I really don't. Hopefully that'll change with gear, but really that sucks in my opinion. But that's something else entirely. It's just nice to talk about the game again, you know? It's just nice to go back to ranting in a daily discussion. I haven't been going for that long, and this isn't going to be a hugely long video, but I look forward to making more detailed videos about the game in other videos as we move forward, discussing things like leveling, like garrisons. I have a lot of guides prepared for garrisons. That's going to be good fun. All kinds of different things I can talk about and we can do together. I'm, of course, hopefully going to get into live streaming once things settle down a little bit, and it's just going to be great fun. It really is. And of course, if you have donated through the Patreon system, then it shall soon, I think, be time for us to play games together, which should be fun. So if you're watching and you have donated $10 or more and you wish to play games with me, I will be emailing you soon once the payments go through, just so I know that no one's just trying to screw me over, which is I'm just being a bit wary about it, but you know, we'll get to playing, I promise. I'm going to send you an email and I'm going to say, you know, when do you want to play? When's good for you? And what do you want to play? Because, you know, hopefully I don't want to spend too much money on games that I don't own, but, you know, hopefully we can play things like, you know, Hearthstone or Heroes of the Storm or other free games, you know, just things like that. Things that we can play together and have fun with. Or, you know, just chat, hang out, whatever you want to do. It should be fun. So I'll be sending out those emails soonish, probably in the next few days. So if you are a patron, don't worry, I haven't forgotten about you. So that's it for today's daily discussion. But before we leave, it's time for some more music. And, you know, Warlords of Draenor has given me quite the selection of music to play with when it comes to the end of these videos. So we're going to start with one of the clans, I think, one of the orc clans. It shall be called Warsong. The Warsong clan, very famous clan in the orc culture, and pretty much every WoW player knows it very well, knows the Warsong. So that is the piece of music for today. It's just called War Song, and it's from the official Collector's Edition soundtrack that I do have, because the Collector's Edition is awesome, but, you know, I'm a nerd like that. So that shall be the piece of music for today. It's going to be pretty awesome. I'm hoping you'll like the kind of savagery of it. I keep saying savage. It's savage, you know? So hopefully you'll enjoy that. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. I don't know why you'd find it helpful, but, you know, hopefully it was just good to have a chat again. It's so great to make these videos. And if you do have suggestions for topics, or you wish to send me your questions to answer on the daily discussion, which I probably should rename, you can contact me using the links in the description, or you can just leave a comment. As always, I offer my heartfelt thanks to any and all who donate through the Patreon system to contribute towards this channel's continued existence. Thank you very much for watching, and I wish you the best of luck with your gaming endeavors. Oh, and don't stand in the bad.